Questions and concerns have been raised regarding the territory's critical financial standing. Questions such as, can politicians fulfill the promises made during this election campaign? And what are the tough decisions that have to be made by the next government in order to avoid further deficit? Financial Secretary Neil Smith voiced his concern that the territory is currently spending at a higher rate than the rate of growth of revenue. Smith said that based on the Virgin Islands' rate of economic growth and the rate at which the government has to spend, it is expected that expenditure will be in the vicinity of $500 million by the year 2016, pointing out that the territory could be faced with a crippling national deficit and government needs to be concerned about the territory's level of debt.
If we look at our fiscal situation, we see that expenditure, the rate of growth of expenditure is higher than the rate of growth of revenue. Okay, that's a problem. It means eventually you're going to get yourself in a situation where the expenditure can be higher than your revenue, for one. And number two, the gap is going to increase to the point where the deficit will be crippling, to say the least. Based on our current rate of economic growth and the rate at which the government of Virginia has to spend, we expect that expenditure will be close to $500 million, or 44 or 45% of GDP by the year 2016. That's not that far away, about 4.5 years away. So, you know, it is important. I don't want to read the rest, leave that for a budget speech. But needless to say, we have to be concerned about the fiscal deficit, and we need to be concerned about the level of debt of government. We have always, the government of Ireland has always been very prudent though, and we've never even borrowed for operational expenditure. And I think we all know that the Premier do whatever he can to prevent us from ever getting to that point. There's some countries in the Caribbean that have to do that, or have to do it in the past.
The Financial Secretary made that statement on August 26, 2011 during the signing of a contract for a job analysis of the public service. And speaking with JTV News on Monday, September 12th about what needs to be done, Smith said that government needs to prioritize spending in terms of projects and determining which ones are more beneficial to the entire territory.
We seem to want to do everything at once, where instead we need to prioritize very carefully, decide maybe what are the top 3 things we should be doing in the territory, make sure that all the projects that you do are for the benefit of all and not just a few. Try as much as possible to engage in projects that will eventually fund themselves. You know, so those are the things you need to look at, what the needs of the country are in terms of infrastructure, social, whatever, and make a decision on what are the most important things and do that. Decide how much space, what fiscal space you want to operate in, and then prioritize to fit that fiscal space. It's simple, but it's a different mindset that we're not used to in the past maybe 10 years or so.
He added that the leaders of the territory must be able to articulate the realities of the financial situation in a transparent way for residents to clearly see and understand, and must put aside personal preferences. He said the way forward includes knowing where the territory must go, publicly debating it, and move forward in that direction.